There it is. Oh, I am actually pretty tired, but I wanted to do this anyway. Did I just screw up my camera? Doesn't look right, does it? Off to a great start here. No, there it's okay. It's good. Try not to bump the cord. It's a good camera, but it's got a fussy cord for the what's the word I'm trying to say? USB, whatever. You know what I mean. So I don't know if I'm going to be joined by anybody or not. It's a little earlier for some people. I'll give it a couple minutes. Obviously, this is Romeo Must Die from 2000. Not really a classic Jet Li, but he's still pretty good in it. And it was a big role at the time for Aaliyah. His life was so tragically cut short. She probably would have gone on to be an even bigger star. I think she was only 22 when she died or something. Really, really young. Really sad. She shows some talent in this movie. I mean, it's not like it's an amazing role. It's not like it calls on her to be super dramatic or anything, but it's pretty good. And actually, I think the thing that surprises me the most about the movie is the chemistry she and Jet Li show, considering their age difference and so many other differences. Like, Jet Li had been doing movies for the last just about 20 years at this point, even if he didn't really become a star until the 90s. He did movies all through the 80s. He was used to the spotlight and being a martial arts champion and performer. And of course, she had something in common with him in that she was something of a prodigy herself and brought along quite young. She broke through as a pop star when she was like 14 or something, helped very creepily along by R. Kelly. We won't save that. It's really unfortunate. I feel bad. She seems like such a tragic figure to me. What she went through with him, and then when of course, her life ending so quickly and unexpectedly. So, I mean, she did have sort of that in common with him, in that she sort of knew what it was like to be in the spotlight from a very young age, despite the fact that now they're at this, well, not now, but I mean, always, he's a lot older than her. And again, it speaks to the youthfulness of a guy like Jet Li that we were talking about when we did not too quite a while ago, but I mean, you can still find it. We with Jay and Orc, we did. I think my favorite movie is I think his best movie, Fist of Legend. He's already in his like mid 30s in that movie, and he's supposed to be playing a guy like a student who's maybe 20, 21, and it's pretty much believable. Now in this, they don't like give an age for him or anything like that, but obviously they try to make it seem like he's probably younger than he is. I mean, he must have been pushing 40 or about 40 in this movie, and yet, and Aaliyah's got to be like what, 20 or something, 19 or 20, and yet it doesn't seem like there's a huge age gap there. It doesn't seem as weird as it is in a lot of these types of movies. So anyway, I'm quite familiar with the movie, but it has been a while since I've seen it all the way through. So there's some scenes I forget. Pretty sure Anthony Anderson is in there as some, what's the word? Comedic. Yeah, for some comedy, comedic element. I can't remember the name of the guy that's like the main bad guy in it that he winds up fighting at the end now. So Jet Li's had a few different phases to his career. In the 80s, he sort of toiled almost as an unknown. He was a great talent, but he just couldn't really find the right vehicle or the right movie to break through. Broke through in the 90s with Once Upon a Time in China, or possibly Once Upon a Time in China 2, and also Swordsman 2. Yeah, that's what it was. It was Once Upon a Time in China, and also the sequel Swordsman 2, which is a really cool fantasy movie. And then he sort of simultaneously started doing, the Chinese movies with some Hollywood movies. I think first appearing in the fourth Lethal Weapon movie, where he's really good. And I think that was his introduction for a lot of people in the West. And then he did have a few short years where he was a star in movies that had Western releases. There's this. There was Kiss of the Dragon, the movie The One. Several of these movies. I know he teamed up with some other well-known actors in some of the movies. Of course, I'm blanking on them now. I should have opened up something like this. Yeah, let's take a look before we get going. Let's take a look at his filmography, just so I can remember or jog my memory about some of the movies he did in this era, which would be like late 90s to like mid 2000s. That's what I want to say. Let's check out the Jet Li filmography here. Jump ahead. Yeah, his first movie was Shaolin Temple way back in 1982. And yeah, he did various movies. I of his '80s output, I haven't seen much. But I saw Born to Defense, which came out in '86, which is fine. He actually directed that movie too. Um, and it's fine, but it's not very memorable. But yeah, so in '91 he did Once Upon a Time in China 2, which was, I guess, that was his breakthrough, because then he did the sequel to that and Swordsman 2. He wasn't in the original Swordsman in '92, so that was sort of star making for him. He did a third Once Upon a Time in China, the big one for me in '94, Fist of Legend. Some sort of forgettable stuff like Black Mask. But yeah, Lethal Weapon 4. Yeah, so this is right after Lethal. Well, it's 2 years after Lethal Weapon 4. This is his first sort of like starring role for like a North American like Hollywood movie. Followed up by Kiss with a Dragon, and over in China he did Hero, which is an amazing movie. Cradle to the Grave was the one I was thinking of, with some like rappers and stuff like that. Unleashed, which is just really, really underrated movie. Fearless, another great wuxia movie. Like Hero and Fearless are both amazing. And War, which is considered a horrible movie that he did with Jason Statham. So I know he played the Emperor in the Mulan live action remake, but his output really slowed down after about 2010, where he did the dramatic movie Ocean Heaven, where he doesn't punch or kick anyone in the face. It's a nice movie. I've seen it. But anyway, I don't know if anyone's gonna join me for this or not, but I did send invites out to a few people, but I guess they're not available. Maybe it's too early. We will see. But so we'll get ahead with the movie here. Hopefully my blabbing gave people time to find it or queue it up. In Canada, it's on Netflix, so that's where I found it. It just recently showed up on Netflix, so it seemed like a good idea to do it. I don't know where else it might be streaming. I'm not going to go over and get it now, but I actually have a nice collection that I don't think was released in the US, but it's a Blu-ray collection of 4 of his movies, which includes 3 of his best. I already mentioned them. My favorite, Fist of Legend, and then the 2 later wuxia movies in the 2000s, Hero and Fearless, but also sort of as a throwaway. It's a 1996 movie, sort of lower budget movie, Black Mask, is on there. It doesn't seem to fit in with the others. It's not nearly a quality, but still, you want to see Jet Li beating some people up. It's good for that. So let's get going here with Romeo Must Die, because I said I'm already fucking tired, but I wanted to do this. It felt important to do this, whether I had anybody company or not to do this. So we'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. I'll make sure that the go. I gotta turn down the volume, of course. It's always an adventure, based on. It's always an adventure with the volume, whether you're using like something you recorded off TV, or you're streaming on Netflix, or you're streaming on Prime, or you're streaming on Disney Plus, or you're playing a Blu-ray or a DVD. It's always different, the level of volume. Some of these things I have to put them way up just to hear anything. Like Disney Plus for me is so low, I had to like crank the volume for it. Anyway, so this movie, has Romeo in the title, and I guess plays with that a little. It's like, about like sort of a gang war, which is kind of like what's going on sort of in Romeo and Juliet. Isaiah Washington, he's a good actor. Two people in opposing gangs or families or whatever, sort of falling in love. Pretty simple stuff, nothing too complicated. So that's what's going to go on here. He's got ties to like Chinese triads, and comes over to the U.S. and they're in conflict with an American gang that Aaliyah, her father's like the head of or something. Anthony Anderson. There we go. Probably the first movie I saw Anthony Anderson. DMX is in there. I think that's DMX we're hearing right now in the opening. I think. So even if you go back to Black Mask, I don't think there's any like legit like hip hop in Black Mask, but Black Mask like has like that kind of soundtrack where it's like hip hop inspired. It's just really, I don't think it has any legit hip hop artists, but And that sort of became a thing, I think, of the 2000s too, was sort of an interesting blending of like hip hop culture and martial arts stuff, which makes sense. And maybe you can really thank the Wu-Tang Clan for that. Yeah. I haven't seen the Snake Eyes movie. I want to see the Snake Eyes movie. And in the G.I. Joe Origins movie, the other one, no, not G.I. Joe Origins, the second G.I. Joe movie that has Snake Eyes in it. The RZA, or whatever his name is, the guy from Wu-Tang, plays like a ninja sensei or something. It's weird. Yet another movie produced by Joel Silver. Holy hell. Directed by Andres Barber. So, like, basically from like 98 to maybe even 2008, we'll say like that decade, there's just sort of a certain style of a lot of like action movies that mostly because of stuff like Blade and The Matrix. And you're going to see a bit of that in this movie. Oh, so many attractive Asians. That's my type. It's a little too long. Oh, I forgot about that. Nice. I mean, it's quick, but it's there. That's a cool club. I want to go to that club. Yeah, I don't really actually remember what happens here. Hi, Jamie. Is Romeo Must Die some sort of trigger for you? Does it bring up horrifying memories? Yeah, I can't really remember what happens here in the opening. Obviously, this cocky Asian guy, club guys don't like him. We're going to have some sort of confrontation here. Oh, here they come. Nice shiny jacket. Thanks, puffed. Ah, there. So the guy with the sunglasses there. He's like cousins or close friends with Jet Li's character in this, and then of course he turns out to be sort of maybe spoilers like the main bad guy, and they have a fight at the end that I don't think is that good. I talked before about martial arts movies, about stuff like Wire Work. Was there a different way I should have worded that, Jamie? I mean, I guess I should have said girls, but sorry, that's my type, Jamie. Like my last 4 girlfriends were all Asian. I don't know if I'll ever go back. Including the great love of my life from China. Yeah, who is this actor? He looks like he might be half white. So nice kicking. Still seems too loud, doesn't it? Maybe I'll put down the volume a bit. Still seems kind of loud. So I was saying about the Wire Work, because I'm okay with it. Not every fight scene has to be 1,000% realistic. It doesn't all have to be. Everything is, But I don't like it when things rely too much on the wire work, and I feel like that's how this movie eventually gets, especially that end fight, because they're doing jumping kicks where they're flying through the air super high, and I think that's all well and good in a fantasy setting, like a lot of those classic wuxia movies, a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon situation or something like that. But yeah, see, look, that kick there, that's impossible. That is physically impossible. That was gravity defying. That's like a Street Fighter move. Yeah. I'm a little surprised it took so long for them to pull the guns out. I mean, this is, these are gangs. They did quite a bit of fighting before they decided to pull the guns out. So that's got to be DMX, right? Jesus, DMX is dead now, too. Aaliyah's dead, DMX is dead. Now I'm terrified that Jet Li's going to die. Several years ago, it leaked that he was in, really bad health, something had happened to him. I guess he's rebounded from that, but for a few years, I remember his health was not good. I think he's more or less retired from martial arts. Yeah, so DMX, I think, owns the club. He's sort of like the voice of reason in a lot of this in this movie that I remember. Like, here's the thing, he waves his gun around, he acts tough, but he's basically sort of putting a lid on things and making sure things don't get too out of control. These black guys will bury you. Okay, so that was Poe. He's not happy that Poe went and kind of showed off at a club owned by the Black Gang. Hey, that's what they called it. He's kind of, again, sort of a stock character we've seen in movies with gangsters and stuff. Like, I don't know if it's his dad, but like his dad or somebody important. Like, he's not like tough. But he's just enjoyed a life of power and full of privilege and does whatever the hell he wants. How long does it take Jet Li to show up in this movie? Dead Chinese guy. Because I know Jet Li's character, the whole thing is like he's been over in China and he was in prison because something to do with the triad. And here's the home of the triad leader, who says crime doesn't pay. Tried to get Orc in on this one. I think Orc's asleep. Messaged him a bunch of times because I know Orc is a fan of this movie, and he was here when we did. I keep almost saying Once Upon a Time in China, but it was Fist of Legend. Am I wearing this shirt out? Feels like. Pay no attention to me. So was the dead guy Poe? That seems like that's probably what it was, wasn't it? I gotta pay better attention. Did Poe get murdered for his little? I don't know. This bald guy there, is that Isaiah Washington? I can't remember. But that's like Aaliyah's father. He's the boss man. Because I do remember one of the things about like this gang war is that it kind of winds up being sort of manufactured, and that the guy we saw, who I said is sort of the main bad guy, he sort of plays both sides against each other. I think he even might have been the one that killed Poe because he's trying to ramp things up for some reason. I don't remember why. It's been a while. My teeth pulled. Got phantom pain. My mouth is a horror story. That guy's got glasses, so he's like the lawyer or the accountant or something. He's like Wesley to this guy's Kingpin. Yeah, so that was definitely Poe that got murdered. Now he's finding out about it. Choose boy. Okay, Hong Kong. Here we go. So now we're going to see our main character, Jet Li, like getting released from prison, I think. He doesn't bust out yet. He gets released. AK-47 for the guard. No joke. Shikang prison. Nice subtitles there. Speaking in foreign language. Thanks, Netflix. They're Hong Kong, so I guess it's Cantonese. The majority. It's funny because I mean, so many native Han Chinese speak Mandarin, but like the majority of like, especially like kung fu films and stuff in the classics, they were all Hong Kong films, so they'd be in Cantonese. It's not a huge difference between the languages, but enough. Finally, we get our main character, whose name I don't remember. Probably something short and simple. That's the way they keep him. His name will be like Han or Lee. There he is. So, is he friends with Poe? So somebody just told him something and really upset him. Yeah, I guess he does break out. Yeah, he doesn't get released. He's gonna do some sort of escape here. Fighting the guards. It didn't take long. I'll give this prison credit. They've just got guys in riot gear standing by every meal, just in case. Must be a wild place. Anyway, goes how you'd expect. He can't beat them. But he did this on purpose, I think. He wanted to get dragged off the solitary, I think. Give himself a chance to escape. Yeah, he doesn't get released. He escapes. It's coming back to me now. I don't like how I look from the side. When I watch the movie, I'm like, I don't like it. This can't just constantly say speaking in foreign language. I know there's parts where people are speaking Cantonese and it has to be translated. Is this because I put subtitles on for everything? Sometimes that happens, right? You have a movie, an English language movie, but it has some scenes or some parts where people speak a foreign language and you get subtitles. But sometimes if you subtitle everything, it seems to wipe out the extra ones. Or not the extra ones. Oh, I forgot about that little thing. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, it just showed like his skeleton to show where Jet Li is breaking bones. It's really has not aged well. Although you can trace that all the way back a lot further than you think. You can see that in the Japanese movie with Sonny Chiba, the Street Fighter. Way back in like the early 70s, they did a similar thing where they'd show like a weird kind of like X-ray type effect where they'd show how he's like breaking guys' bones. So that effect is older than you'd think. That was really big in like Mortal Kombat X or 10. You'd have X-ray attacks where everything would go in slow motion and it would show the effect your attacks are having on your opponents. Right, so he beats up those guys, steals a uniform, and he'll get himself out. It's just that easy if you're Jet Li. Yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe it's wiped out because there's definitely, yeah. So I'm not going to get any of this translated. I mean, you don't need it here. They're just saying, oh shit, he's gone. I get that. You don't need subtitles for that. I thought I'd wake up. I'm still pretty tired. Wake up. There we go. Okay, so we are getting subtitles. Thank goodness. Don't these guards know each other? Like, he knows the guards well enough to know that if he's going to lie successfully, he can talk about the racetrack. But they don't know each other well enough to recognize each other's faces. I don't know. Where did this guy go? He's got important gambling business. And they're going to hit the alarm just as he gets out. Yeah. Saw that coming. I don't even need these. There's nobody here. It's never been a problem for me. I can keep talking. Right, so just like prove that like his gang had nothing to do with it. I guess he's attending the funeral or something. Going through a metal detector here, but it looks like this is just an airport, isn't it? I don't know. I'll stop trying to guess what's happening. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a setup. It was an inside job. But obviously, tensions are going to rise, and the two gangs are going to get into a very open conflict. Oh, he wouldn't even keep the flowers. Is it appropriate to give white flowers? In China, white is like the color of death. I mean, was that insulting that he gave him white flowers, or was it appropriate? I don't know. I don't know how that works. Like, I know, for instance, like a Chinese wedding, the bride isn't going to wear white because that would be seen as really morbid and weird. Oh, there she is. I don't know. It's not like I knew much about her career or anything. And it's not like I love this movie, but she just has such an effect on me. I just feel so bad when I think about Aaliyah. She just seems very, I was not into that R&B type of music, but obviously she had talent and could sing well, and she was just so cute, and she seemed like a genuinely really nice person. I mean, to think that what like R. Kelly put her through, it's really upsetting. He was her mentor and he launched her career, but he was using her and abusing her, and to think that he's still not in jail, all the things that he's done and continued to do to people. There's Anthony Anderson. He's like, they make him like her bodyguard or something. She calls him moron, but his name is Maurice. That seems a bit of a stretch, but it becomes kind of a running joke. Just to let you know that that's like this is the apex of the humor in this movie. Several times people call him poor Maurice moron. And she makes it very clear that she's aware of, her dad's activities in business, and she does not approve. Although I'm sure she still doesn't mind spending his money. Although, I mean, I don't want to say that, because she seems to be pretty independent and trying to do stuff on her own. Anyway, now basically Maurice has been assigned to her, I guess, because of the rising tensions in the gang war, so he's got to keep an eye on her. Damn. It still seems pretty loud, doesn't it? I don't know. I don't care at this point. Go ahead and flag me or whatever, YouTube. I've had a bunch of my videos demonetized. Not that I give a shit. Nobody watches my videos, and I don't have ads. I'm not making any money, so I don't give a shit. But and I don't get it because most of them are like playthroughs, like when I did playthroughs of Final Fantasy VII and stuff. Except not all of them. So I have no idea what the rules are. Fucking YouTube and copyright, all that garbage. There's one thing I've learned, and I realized because they've also made a movie about it. Like, barbershops are really like important parts of like black communities. I mean, hell, there's movies called like there's a series called Barbershop, like, which I think is interesting because I've never thought about. And again, I mean, this is barbershops, so it's from specifically doing men's hair. I mean, I've had my hair cut at a barbershop before, but I mean, yeah, usually I go to a salon. I don't know. It's interesting to think of them in as, I don't even mean like as a cultural thing, regardless of race. It's never occurred to me to think of, oh, yeah, boom. Yeah, so we have some shots fired on the other side here now. And again, I don't think I don't think the Triad Gang did this. It's just made to look like that. They just blew up that barbershop. But losing my point here, which was it's just interesting to think of a place like a barbershop as kind of like a social place where you go and you talk to people and yeah, I don't know. But again, part of it is also because I think a lot of black guys keep their hair very short, if not like buzzed. So they're in there all the time. Like, look at me. You've seen my videos. You've seen how long my hair gets. And I mean, even when there wasn't a pandemic keeping you from going there, like I go to get my haircut like once every like 7 months or something. So it's not like I could be a regular or really build up any sort of relationship or rapport with the clientele. I mean, yeah, generally I kind of knew the people that worked there, I guess. But I think that's interesting. But it's in a lot of movies and stuff, and it's clearly like true that like in a lot of like big cities. Oh, CDs, record stores. It's weird watching a movie from 2000 and thinking it's all retro, but I mean, it's over 20 years ago. God damn, we're old. We're getting old. But I managed to do is go to record stores, put on the headphones, listen to the album. Her name is Trish. Okay, so Aaliyah's character is Trish. I'm trying to actually keep track of names for once, so I'm not just saying this guy or that guy or the actor. Maurice is really bad at his job, as we find out. He's in there dancing, and she just leaves. Maurice is a bad bodyguard. Or babysitter, or however he wants to phrase it. Oh, he fell down and knocked some stuff over. This is the height of comedy, people. Not that Anthony Anderson's not funny. He's funny. I've found him funny and stuff. And this movie, it's pretty low bar. Right, so... Geez, how do we... Did I miss something? Jet Li's already in town? I missed how he got into the damn country. But here he is stealing a car, and so she meets him. Wow, I don't remember it happening this fast. Because I remember this one of his other talents is he's good at like hot wiring cars. So yeah, she just wants to get out of here. He's like, whatever, okay, I'll drive you, beautiful girl that just jumped into the back of my car. Sounds good to me. Oh, it is a cab. He's stealing it, but it is a cab. So it's not like she just jumped into some random car. She saw a cab. Hey, you're not. Is this some sort of like racism too? In that she sees like clearly what is a Middle Eastern man's picture, and his name is Akbar, but she believes him that it's him because she calls him Akbar for a while. What the hell is his name? I know he eventually meets some people and they talk, so we'll find out. He says he's from Hong Kong, so. But yeah, I was distracted or looking at something. I don't know how the hell he got into the country. Says you guys can all do. Again, is she being racist here? Because she's like, you guys all do kung fu, right? I'm scared because you're not watching the road. Ooh, you don't know that, Trish. You don't know. Okay, so she knows that he stole it. So, okay. Not that racist. She knows he's not Akbar. I'm pretty sure this is the movie where he like uses her body like a puppet so he doesn't have to hit a girl. I think that's this movie. Let's find out if I'm right. Because there's a part where they get attacked by some people and one of them happens to be a woman. He's like, I can't hit a woman. She's like, you better. And then he like gets behind her and sort of like uses her bot. Like, it's so stupid. But they really got into that kind of stuff. NFL, what the fuck are they talking about? You know, I don't care. He's out golfing with a bunch of white assholes. It's a nice course. Ooh, right in the rough. I know golf terms. Hell yeah, I do. This guy's one condescending prick. Keep your eye on the ball. That's a good one. Oh man, they're talking about a land deal. Again, what a cliche. When you're talking about like organized crime or corruption in some city, it always comes down to some goddamn land deal. It's like, oh, they want to buy up this land because it's valuable for the new construction project. I mean, I get it. It's true. It's happened a lot in real life. It just gets a little old after a while. What's funny is the plot in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Outside of all the weirdness, of course, of Toontown and Toons existing, the plot in that actually is somewhat based on real life in like Los Angeles in that time in the 40s. The whole thing of how like tire manufacturers and cars and stuff, they like basically band together to force out the trains and the trolleys, you know, create a big highway system and all that. It's kind of funny that that's in a movie like that, but it's actually pretty accurate as to what happened. Who is she talking to? I don't know who this is or why she's here. He's angry. Is her brother? His name is Colin. Could be your brother. He was talking about Pop, but I don't know. Just because you call somebody Pop doesn't necessarily mean it's really your dad. Gotta pay better attention. Keep track of these characters. Well, he said he loves her, so it's probably her brother. Meanwhile, Jet Li, whose character I still don't know the name of, is prowling around somewhere. It's 1 o'clock for me now. I thought maybe. I know Jay got held up doing work. Just let himself into somebody's really nice condo or something. You're a smoker? Did you pick that up in prison. Yeah, it's not some random place. Like, this is part of the Triads. A little photo montage here. Give us some background info. So yeah, him and the bad guy sort of grew up. I don't think they're brothers, but they grew up kind of like they were brothers or something. I don't know. Ooh, are you having a flashback here? The basketball? Yep. Swimming, holding onto a basketball. Trying to reach Hong Kong by water and their kids. I don't remember. Well, that's all right, Jay. There's still plenty of movie to go. It's a longer movie than I remember. It's almost 2 hours. Oh, I love those cool curved swords. What's happening? God. Yeah. Aaliyah really does not like Mr. Right Hand Man. Actually, I think maybe he's in on it too. Maybe he betrays him. Some of this has started to come back to me. Maybe he's made a deal with that guy in the Triads? I can't remember. Yeah, she really doesn't like him. They mentioned Kobe Bryant. He's dead too. Man, this movie is cursed. Is Bernie Mac in this? Christ. Ooh, she calls him an errand boy for her father. He's nothing. Yeah, this whole thing about a man might have to stake his own claim. I think that's like foreshadowing that like he's part of like this gang, like this sort of fake, sort of manufactured gang war. I think he's working with the other guy on the other side to like, you know, fan the flames of this. The idea is he'll get her father killed and take over for him. Here he's acting all loyal and stuff, saying she has to respect her father and let him protect her. But I think it's a lie. But they don't fire Anthony Anderson or Maurice. They just hit him in the face. Maybe they should fire him or at least reassign him because he's bad at what his job is. And so there's another thing. He's overseeing some shipping containers and stuff being moved down. His office is down at the docks. It's like season 2 of The Wire up in here, which is a good season. Makes me wonder if stuff like that happens here. Like, because Halifax is one of the busier ports in North America. You know, you drive out that way towards Bedford, you'll pass hundreds and hundreds of containers Actually, this summer, back in like July or something, the largest container ship in the world was here. I meant to go down and see it. I did see it driving by, but I wanted to go down to actually get a picture of it. But yeah, I always wonder about the stuff that's moving in and out of here. When you have all these containers, you ever think about the stuff you see in movies and stuff, like human trafficking and drugs and weapons and all that. Don't be so hard on Colin. I feel like Colin's gonna get killed. It's not a memory. I don't remember. Basically, what I remember about this movie is the fight scenes. I don't remember the twists and turns of the story that well. I mean, I guess I remember the main twists and turns, because I'm pretty sure I'm right. I know I'm right about the Chinese guy, but this guy, Aaliyah's dad's right hand man, I'm pretty sure he's in on it too. Or either that, or he just has his own thing going on. It's going to betray you. Click. He's kind of a tall head. See, that's one of the people that does not look good bald. Like it seems to accentuate that he has a really sort of high head. I don't think it looks good. I mean, generally, I think a black guy can pull off like the shaved head bald thing better than most white guys, but it doesn't always work. I don't think it works for that guy. I think it just seems to accentuate that he has kind of a tall head. I know if I had like a completely shaved head, I would look like I was going through chemo. I would not look cool. You're in the great city of Oakland. What do I remember about Oakland? It's near San Francisco. There's a good Simpsons joke where for some reason the Simpsons have been kept in Alcatraz or something and they escape and they're swimming. They're like, make for the shore for San Francisco. And Homer goes, San Francisco? I'm not made of money. We'll swim to Oakland. Does Oakland have a Chinatown? Obviously, San Francisco does. San Francisco has like one of the first and most famous Chinatowns. I mean, Chinatown, San Francisco, and Chinatown, New York. Those are the big ones. San Francisco kind of even more so since it's so close. San Francisco is kind of like our Vancouver. I think, I could be wrong, but I think Vancouver has the highest population of Chinese people outside of China. Just across the water there, I suppose it makes sense. And actually, it's not going by city, but by province. I think. What province is it? It might be Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan has like the highest population of Ukrainians outside of Ukraine. I'm of Ukrainian descent on my father's side. Oh, she's still calling him Akbar for some reason, but wow, I thought she'd be nicer about this. Was Poe his brother? That entitled ass? Okay, so that's why he's here, because his brother was murdered. I assume that must be Poe. Yeah, so Colin is her brother. Stuff moves quickly in this movie. He figured out. I already missed how he figured out that she's like connected to the gang. But he knows. There, his name is Han. I told you. It's always something short and simple. And you might wonder, like, why doesn't he go out? I think it's he wants to show off a little bit. I mean, he does pretend like he's a delivery guy here. Like, he doesn't necessarily go looking for trouble, but. Oh, she called him moron again. Hilarious. Hey, dog. Man, we've been calling people dog for over 20 years. I love it. Love it. They even spelled it D-A-W-G. Now, here we go. The best fight scene in the history of cinema. Anthony Anderson versus Jet Li. Here's where he does some of that more sort of Jackie Chan inspired fighting, where it's like about putting guys in holds or just wrapping them up. You know, not. But he does do some good hits here. I mean, if you had to say a difference between his fighting style and Jackie's, it's like his is a little less comedic and more about hurting people, but still, it's not like brutal like you'll see in some guys' styles. I remember there was a lot of hype about Jet Li in the West around this time. You know, we'd already seen some Jackie Chan movies in the 90s, and it's like, this guy's like even faster, you know. Yeah. The belt. Nice underwear. I mean, I get that it's interesting when you have like close quarters fighting like this, where there's not a lot of room, and he takes advantage of it. But I mean, I like best when there is room. But love how he holds the gun. I think it's pretty cool. He doesn't so much hurt them as just sort of disable them and humiliate them. And then he takes off in their car just to add insult to injury. Their nice big black SUV. Come on, you got to be a little impressed, Trish. Meanwhile, back at the Triad compound. Chu is the head of the family or whatever. We are not the blacks. They call them the Chinese. They call them the blacks. Okay. I think something like Rush Hour maybe opened the door for this too, because you have to remember that like even nowadays it's hard to find a movie where like the leads are non-white. Like usually if you have like a black lead or an Asian lead, there's like a white lead to pair them with. One thing that was cool about Rush Hour was it was a Chinese lead and a black lead in Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Now you have the same thing here. You've got Jet Li and Aaliyah. It's a movie set in America, but like there aren't really any prominent white characters. Very solemn Chinese funeral. Some culture. And he makes himself known. He brought the ball. I like the idea that apparently he could have broken out of prison at any time, but he was content to serve out his sentence. It just took, finding out the news of the death of his brother that motivated him. Yeah. Yeah, so your brother was kind of a punk. Not saying he deserved to be murdered, but how could I not hate him with that opening where he's like making out with all these pretty Chinese girls? So lonely. Lonely. He does not have a great relationship with his father, I don't think. He's not happy that he escaped from prison. Yeah, so in here, he could have rolled on his brother and father, apparently, and he refused. But it was heat from the law that made them leave Hong Kong and set up in the States. Oddly enough, James Hong is like, I don't think isn't in this movie, which is weird because he seems to be in like every like North American movie that involves Chinese people. I mean, something of a pioneer, I guess. He was always around, sort of as the token Asian. Took a long time. I mean, obviously there were actors before him. It was hold on a second. I always forget her name. I shouldn't because I love her. Nancy Kwan. Nancy Kwan was like one of the first Asian American stars in like the 50s and 60s. She was gorgeous. I love her. I'm pretty sure you're the one that killed him. Why fight with blacks? Right. They fight over territory in the waterfront, blah, blah, blah. They're going to have a little mock fight here, too, I think. You gonna throw the water bottle, yeah. It's not really like a fight, though. Doing some whooshing moves here. Some Southern Fist. Yeah, you don't get soft in prison, which is what he says. Here's your Matrix sunglasses back. They'll be cool for another year or two. Man, he's good at finding her. Just boom, runs into her again. I feel like there's scenes missing in this movie. He just seems to teleport around. She is giving ice cream to the kids. We get it. She's a person of the. She's a woman of the people. You know, you get it though. She's trying to like distance herself from her father and stuff, and try to help in the community and do it honestly. Blah blah blah. You get it. You get a basketball scene? We met in line. What does that mean, in line? Nowadays, you would say we met online. That would work. That's how I meet people. Oh, she decides to call him Akbar for some reason. Oh, there's some of the guys that he beat up on. Is Maurice wearing a football jersey to play basketball? Oh, they're going to play football. Okay. That's good. I don't think Jet Li can dunk a basketball, but he can in like any movie because of the magic of wire work. Yeah, they're going to play some football. So, sorry, I was saying they were playing basketball because they're near the basketball court, but they're going to play some football. So, Maurice is dressed appropriately. My bad. Yeah, don't mention the contact part of football. Mo's special. Okay. Hike. Ouch. That's. I think they have something in football called unnecessary roughness. That would be it. You knock him down, and then you just all jump on him anyway. Time to execute a button hook. Football has so many cute plays. That's it. Impossible. Oh, what happened to the camera? Come on, man. Stupid fucking. There it goes. What's going on with you, camera? Don't do that. That's not cool. Nancy Kwan's still alive. She's 82. No, I don't want to see what she looks like now. I like to think of her in her prime, as they say. I'm not being sexist. That's it. Anyway, love Nancy Kwan. If you're not familiar with her, you should look her up and her work. Really great Asian American star. One of the first. Once again, completely defying gravity there. It's a lot more punching than you see in football. Okay, now it's just a fight. It's not football anymore. It's just a fight. Good one, Han. Throws pretty well, too. Yeah, he is a gifted athlete. See, little guys could play football if you were allowed to do all that stuff. Fight ball. I'm surprised they never do fight in football. I mean, considering how, physical it is, how they're smashing into each other, I'm surprised that fights don't really break out. Well, they never do. I mean, in hockey, if somebody hits you the wrong way or clips you, there's a good chance you'll go at them for a fight. One thing I don't like and that happens a lot in hockey, sometimes somebody will get hit clean, like perfectly clean, legal, clean hit, but he'll get flattened. So then his teammates will go after the guy to fight him, which I don't think is right. But okay, so I got a bad feeling, Colin. I feel like you're gonna die here. Yeah, that weed I don't think is helping your intellect any, Colin. Yeah, you'll never run the show because like you're gonna get murdered like right now. There you go. But we're still doing the mystery, well, sort of mystery thing here, so we don't actually see who does it. Oh, they fell a long way to not scream at all. Fuck, is that really loud? I turned this way down. I mean, they landed in the water. Could you survive that fall? Maybe. And I know once you're high up enough, like hitting water is like almost no different from like hitting pavement. Like you hit the water so hard, like your legs like break. So anyway, so at this point, we're still supposed to believe, they were killed. So they were probably killed by the triads, just and vice versa. So Colin's dead, and obviously Aaliyah's going to blame her father for his business. So now each gang leader has lost a son. Goodbye, tall head Colin. I'll give Trish credit. She moves from mourning right to anger really quick. Pigball's a good sport. If you ever saw that episode of Garfield with the. It used to be called Orson's Farm, and then they changed it to like something acres. But anyway, that whole bit with the farm animals. There's a really good bit where they're supposed to play a sport called pigball, but Roy, the mischievous rooster, gets a hold of the rule book and turns it into a bunch of random weirdness. Good stuff. I'm tired. I thought I'd get energy, but I didn't. Maybe if I had somebody to talk to. I just haven't done this much lately. I felt like I had to get back up on the horse. Even for something informal and easy, like a Romeo Must Die live commentary. Solo, I guess, as it turns out. What has happened here? I'm going to yawn again. Ransacked. In that photo, Poe seems to have like a blonde girlfriend there, so he didn't just like Chinese girls. Ooh, what car is this? Very nice. No, yeah, that was his brother's car, the convertible. It's interesting he has such a strange relationship with his father, considering, as far as I can tell, Poe contributed nothing and just, ran around like an entitled jackass. But sometimes you can't understand it. Like sometimes when a parent favors like one sibling, it doesn't even make any sense. Because it seems like Han is the more dutiful one, but what is that? Like a pimp cane? Some cocaine? Ooh. I don't remember this. What the hell is this? A list of addresses. Why is she there? She knew he would be here? Okay. I think I lost my audience. It's funny, I thought parts were loud. Now I can't hear the dialogue at all. But now they have something in common. They both lost their brother. I saw. Oh wait, Aaliyah was in another movie. She was in 2002. She was in Queen of the Damned, which is a fucking terrible movie. I haven't seen it since then. Remember, my girlfriend and I rented it. It was her idea. She's like, I thought you'd like it because it's got vampires and stuff. And I was like, well, you don't know me well enough that I'm very particular about vampires because this is a crappy movie. But anyway, she's the bad guy in that Queen of the Damned. I don't remember if she really has any dialogue in that or if she just shows up and kills people. It's been 18 years since I've seen it, so it's a lot of girlfriends ago. So this all has something to do with the NFL? This land deal? I don't know. Because here's the smarmy white guy from the golf course, and he's blabbing about prime waterfront retail space. Remember, always talked about how LA never had a football team, but Oakland did, right? The Oakland Raiders? Are they still around? Okay, so we're coming up on what I think is the fight scene where he uses her like a puppet. We'll find out. Pretty sure I'm right. I guess it's creative, if nothing else. It seems pretty stupid, but it's also creative. And it also kind of is kind of a bonding moment between the two. Like I said, I'm surprised their chemistry is pretty good. Despite the fact that at this point she has not much experience acting. He has not much experience acting in English. It's already too late here, dead guys. All dead. I don't remember why. This plot is too difficult for me to follow. All its twists and turns. Here we go. Some assassins. Yeah, so one of these, at least one of these motorcycle assassins is female, I'm pretty sure. Man, that's some long hang time. That motorcycle was in the air for like 10 full seconds. Of course, we already know that this movie, the laws of gravity can be bent. Not just by human bodies, but by motorcycles. So I don't think there's any amazing stunt driving here, but it's not bad, I guess. I'm a big fan of stunt driving too. All stunts of all manner. You know, it's not just martial arts stuff. I like it. It's stunt driving. So I pointed out before, there's some Jackie Chan movies that have some surprisingly good stunt driving in them. That maybe gets a little overlooked because obviously you think about martial arts action. Still waiting for the goddamn Criterion editions of Police Story 1 and 2. I ordered them at like the end of July. They still haven't come in. Fuck. I know Jay and I did a commentary of Police Story, but he has not been able to find 2 anywhere to watch. So we've not done 2. This bit's a little longer than I remember. It's good. Get some driving in. She told him he drove like shit, but she's going to take it back now. What are you doing, biker? What's this? I'm pretty sure this motorcycle person is a woman. Yeah, I'm right. I remember this now. A fairly talented triad. It's like, oh my god, it's a woman. But actually, it's not that it's a woman. He's just amazed that she's Chinese. It's like he's holding back because he's just not in him. He's never fought a girl before. He says, I can't hit a girl, so here we go. I won't be a gentleman. Like, is it more sexist that I'm just like using you? I don't know, but whatever. Give Aaliyah credit. You know, this probably took some practice to get this choreography right. It's not something she really had a background in or anything. Now, again, she's not exactly doing martial arts here, but pretty good, actually. Oh, that ended a lot quicker than I thought. Impaled the bitch. Yikes. I like how he goes from, I can't hit a girl to, I'll use you to murder her. We've got a ways to go here. Isaac O'Day. That's Aaliyah's or Trish's father's name. So now he's pointing out that it was actually Chinese that did the hit. And his father will not believe him. He says it's contracted outside Chinese to promote exactly this kind of dissent. You got it backwards. Her charms are distorting your thinking. Of course he knows Aaliyah's got charms. Who wouldn't? This crab thing, doesn't he like push his face into it or something? Let's see. Little bits are coming back here. Yeah, I feel like you're gonna grab his head and push it towards the crabs. I don't remember why though. All right, he's trying to intimidate him into selling. Yeah, there we go. This would really hurt. As someone who's, felled a claw or two from a crab. Slow your roll. Even with a gun to his head. Right, so I don't think this is sanctioned by Isaac O'Day. I think this guy is doing this of his own initiative. I keep calling the Chinese gang triads, but maybe they're not. I mean, not every Chinese gang is. I mean, they never use the term. I don't think. This little drug highway. All right, so Kai, that's the name. I said all the Chinese have nice, simple, short names. So Kai, he's the betrayer. I don't remember. Is he going to frame these guys or just kill these guys? Yeah, so we got a tip this lady's going to get hit. Right now. Yeah, there we go. So this is the first time we see Kai do this, but I think anybody with a brain watching this knows that Kai's been behind this all along. Pretty brazen. When did they plant all those explosives? Or did they just always have the boat wired to explode for some reason? Things are escalating now. Did we get to see DMX again, or was that like a one-time thing? He was at the beginning at the club. I thought he played a bigger role. It's gonna give it to you. That's timeless. Doesn't matter what year it is. I like those lyrics. Grabbing guys and hanging them up in a meat locker. Kind of, again, sort of a mafia gang. I mean, these are Chinese guys, but I mean, cliche. Hell, Jay and I saw this in the Long Good Friday, the last movie we covered for movie discussion talk dimension. Except these guys have a much worse fate, but we don't see it. Now they're talking to Roth. Roth is the one white character of any substance in this movie, and he's just some asshole trying to get some sort of deal with the NFL or something. Back to Trish. So I think he's trying to get her to like a safe house or something, since all bets are off at this point. He does actually have a point this time. You know, regardless of whose fault it is, she is in danger. Look, I've had people murdered, just not this particular person. Oh man, they've got a look at those graphics. It's a PS2, I guess. They're playing one of the NFL games on PS2. One of them had like a weird, like, I don't know what that was. Something with a screen on it. Oh, thank God. We got Mamarice back. It's funny that TV even seems small by today's standards, but it is sort of like a flat screen in 2000. So, well, he just did D's Nuts. Wow, I didn't know it was that old. Okay, you're doing a little better, Maurice. You're a little funnier than you started out as. Like I said, it's Anthony Anderson. He's got some chops. Oh, it's like her childhood bedroom. Very nice. That's a creepy little doll on the lampshade. He looks kind of like a jackass in those suspenders. She's like, I'm not a little girl anymore, daddy thing, even though she's like, what, like 20 at the oldest in this. You are grounded, Missy. And the obligatory talk about her dead mother. Couldn't get through the movie without it. Why don't you tell her how much you remind her of him of her mother or whatever? Let me guess. Once you get this deal done, you're gonna go totally legit. That's how it always is too. Like, actually, I don't think he says that. Gotten really low again. I'll give Roth credit. Like, I think most people in his situation be like, damn, I don't care which one of you is going to give me the deeds. It's not worth it. You got this crazy escalating gang war. You know, there's going to be too much attention. It used to be able to do that better. Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Ah, he said he missed her. Yeah, do they start to develop a romance or what? Because, I mean, at this point, they haven't exactly. Okay, he's 2 whole feet away. We can talk now. I think I'm going to sneeze. Apologies, I'm going to sneeze, people. Twice. There it is. I got you some pizza, Trish. I only ate half of it myself. Oh, you bastard. I want that right now. Pizza make you want to slap your mama. Okay. I'll remember that one. You get pizza grease all over your stuff. Damn it, I'm so bad at my job. Again. All right, now they're going to check out the list of addresses that he got from his brother's secret cane or whatever. I think she tries to make him look more like Street before they go in. Doesn't she give him the hat? Let's see. Like, before we go in there, you look too, like, Chinese, I guess. Let's see if I'm right. You know, is that an Aaliyah song playing? I don't know. Yeah, she's going to give him the hat. Back. Yeah, there you go. B-boy flavor. All right. Yeah. She's going to teach him a little bit of hip-hop. I know hip-hop. I just put my pants down a bit. I like it, yeah. See, we're getting cultures merging here. I don't know. You have like a weird Chinese guy with you, and we have a real thing about that, I guess. That's a Roots hat? Maybe it's not a Canadian Roots hat. Yeah. I have a Roots hat. Can't get a good look at it. Just because it says Roots doesn't necessarily mean it's that brand. Which in 2000 was really not known in the U.S. at all. It was the Salt Lake City Olympics in 2002 that kind of brought attention to the brand in the U.S. because that was like the official apparel of Team Canada, and a lot of teams from other countries liked the clothes or something. I mean, I like Roots. I buy stuff, but it's all like still made in Bangladesh and shit like that. So it's the same thing as anything else. I'm not a dancer. I can't dance. You can't persuade me to dance, but I would dance with Aaliyah. I mean, she's just so adorable. Jet Li at this point is like, how did my career come to this? There's DMX. It's his club. She's dancing. Silk. That's right. His name's Silk. Very cool. You know, and one of my favorite Daredevil arcs of all time, called Underboss. It's about an asshole gangster guy from Chicago. His name is Silk, and how he moves into New York with connections through his dad. He joins the Kingpin's organization, and over time he instigates a coup and tries to kill the Kingpin and take over. And of course, the whole thing blows up in his face. But yeah, Silk. It's a really, really good. One of the best arcs. It's from around now. So Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Malley, their amazing run on Daredevil in the early 2000s. Yeah, here we go. Mac just shot Silk. Maurice thinks he's finally going to get the best of him. You're not, Maurice. You lose. You always lose. But anyway. You learned nothing, Maurice. Meatball. Well, this guy's kicked your ass like 4 times already, but sure. Laugh at him. That's a good pun, except his name's not. Yeah, okay, whatever. Now, at this point, Maurice still isn't that. Like, he doesn't know, I don't think, what Mac does. Oh, he's kind of lost it. Okay, see, that looks ridiculous. I'm surprised Jet Li would even agree to that. That stupid kick. Or series of, like, flying kicks. It just looks terrible. I like this movie, and there is some good fighting, but stuff like that just ruins it for me. It looks so ridiculous. I mean, the fact is, Jet Li can do incredible things. So why do we have to, like, show impossible things? Now he's legitimately trying to kill him. Rice noodle, you racist bastard. Man, I forgot about the hose. The hose is mightier than the gun. Man, how many of these guys are there? This is the last one. Oh, come on, I gotta make it power through. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I forgot about this bit with the hose. This is pretty good, you know? That ridiculous kick thing at the start was crap, but this is a lot better. This Kung Fu won't help him if you just choke him. Oh, never mind. Exactly, just take him down like you're Randy Couture. No, you didn't think that through. I'm trying not to fall. I'm sure that car covered in broken glass will cover your fall. Sorry, moron. That's the right play. Hey, he's fine. Just shattered his spine, probably. I think that's the end of Maurice's arc. Wonderful ending. So it looks like the Chinese gang has won the official weird deal with Roth about the NFL or whatever bullshit's going on here. Spend it well. There, like this character, this white guy, he's always so condescending to everybody. I wish he gets killed. Does he get killed? I mean, he's technically not that. I mean, he's crooked, but he's not like some awful criminal as far as we know. And yet, he's just so unlikable. I hope he gets killed. What is going on here? I missed something. A black owner? That's preposterous. My whole smarmy white guy life, I've never heard something so crazy. Dave is so offended. We're at 137, people. Who's interested in a timestamp? I lost my audience. They went to bed. I should have gone to bed, but I gotta see this through. I think Mac is gonna betray you. Well, he already did, but I mean, now he's gonna like openly betray you. Machiavellian Incorporated? I like how they just gave their company an evil name. Here we go. Okay, it was 38 million. I thought I read that wrong. You didn't know that these people were getting killed? You're not very good at being a boss. Yeah. So, yeah. Make your play, Mac. Ooh. Didn't you think this would happen? You just admitted to murdering his son. There we go. Oh, cool. A little bit with the briefcase on. Wow, even Roth's guys are packing. Everybody's just shooting at everybody at this point. It's not even like their sides anymore. It's just like, shoot. Grab your gun and shoot. Why don't you just kill Mac? I'm surprised they let Mac live. I wouldn't. I mean, they could have killed him and they chose not to. That seems like a misstep, miscalculation, a mistake. That hurt. Oh, Roth's got a helicopter with his name on it. See? You could have killed him, you idiots, and now he's coming after you. That was just dumb. Dumb. What was the point in letting him live there? I mean, there was already a shootout in the room. It can't be like, well, we don't want to get in trouble for another murder. Self-defense, right? Now you've lost your damn briefcase. We are being shot at, you idiot. Ooh. Oh, this is where he calls him Romeo. Romeo, you gotta die. Yeah, it seems more appropriate than Cold Mac. You seem to have forgotten about all the things you did to her. I would really like your blessing, sir, before you croak. He's shorter than he thought? You knew he was Chinese. Not saying there aren't taller guys. What's his name? Oh, damn, can't think of names today. Too tired. Chow Yun Fat's over 6 feet. There we go. Final battle. It seems weird that Kai never had like any scenes with Mac because they were both like the schemers on their respective sides. Nobody liked your brother. Poe was an entitled jackass. He starts out pretty good. He seems so confident that he can beat him. Kai, I mean. I'm not sure why. It's a flying knee, but it's a flying knee to the side of the head. It's interesting. Okay. Which is possible, I guess, but seems kind of awkward. Nice speed there. Yeah, I remember that well, kicking the pan full of coals or whatever. Ah, now it's nice and dramatic. The place is burning. I like it. Come on, no small joint manipulation. That's cheap. You're not even allowed to do that in MMA. Really? Give me some skin? My God. I like how Kai, who's been like so measured and calm throughout this movie, has revealed himself to be kind of a lunatic. Screaming, woo! Okay, that's not. Define gravity again. Get up, you son of a bitch. They're gonna do the big crazy double kick in a second. And it's gonna look so fake and dumb. I like how like it just becomes really brutal here. It's less fancy technique, and although they're still doing like the weird gravity defying jumps here. There we go. Look at that. They're like, yeah. Okay. It's not good. Like that's how he beats them, and it just seems so stupid to me. That crazy way up in the air kick they do. Not cool. Handgun with a pearl handle, very classy. So okay, so I forgot this because I said like Mac on the one side, Mac betrayed his boss and tried to go his own way and stuff, but there was no betrayal on the Chinese side. Kai did everything that Cho told him to do. So here he is saying, you killed your own son. He's like, he was a liability. Again, dialogue super low here. I mean, they're speaking Cantonese, but it's weird. You can't hear it at all, pretty much. Will he go to prison? Stuff like this is always up in the air. Like, how much evidence is out there? What do the cops know? His dad just killed himself, so it wouldn't matter. Moot point now. He's dead. See, if you're Han, this would be a very difficult thing to sort out with the cops. I mean, there you see the flashing lights. He can't stick around and answer questions. He's not even in the country legally. He's a fugitive. He's what all those people that like hate immigrants like fear. Because he's not somebody that just came, and filled out the paperwork and came and got a job. He's a criminal who committed crimes in his own country, who has now illegally entered this country. But he's Han and he's awesome, so shut up. All he gets here is a hug with Aaliyah. I don't know. I think they should have played up some more romance. I mean, the Romeo Must Die. I mean, do they even really necessarily say that like they're in love? I don't know. I think they should have pushed it a little further. Like he doesn't get to kiss her or anything. I think they should have played it up. Because as I said, even though he is a great deal older than her in real life, it doesn't really seem that way in the movie. So I don't think it would have been all creepy and weird. Yeah, and just go out. So I almost wish they played up the romance a little more. Because this doesn't even necessarily say for sure. I mean, I guess it's kind of. Oh, Chu was Henry O. Okay. It's still a good movie. It's a product of its time, sort of riding the wave of popularity that Jet Li got in North America. The fights are not great. You can't say it holds up. I have to see Kiss of the Dragon again because it's been a long time since I've seen that. That came out after this movie. A lot of people speak highly of it. I don't remember it that well, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, like I said, the movie just makes me sad thinking of Aaliyah, martial arts supervisor Corey, and well, it's not your greatest work, Corey. You've done way better. But I don't know. I always feel bad. I always had an affinity for Aaliyah, even before she died. And I just feel like she's such a tragic figure, and I feel like she was just really cute, and I don't know. I feel really sad thinking about the life that she had and dying. Way too fucking late, Orc. Way too late. It's over. Nobody joined me. I sent out invites, but nobody joined me. But yeah, I mean, I would not. I put this pretty low in Jet Li's oeuvre. But it's still entertaining, which is why I wanted to watch it. But I mean, like I said, you can divide his career up like between like Chinese movies and North American movies. Where does it sit as far as North American movies go? Well, I guess it is one of the higher ones, I guess, because the next 2 years he did some really bad ones. And this is not bad. It's not bad. It's just not particularly good either. My favorite thing about it probably is Aaliyah, honestly. And it is kind of surprising that they actually have decent chemistry because you probably wouldn't think they would. So, I mean, let's see here. We did this in 2000. The One and Kiss of the Dragon both came out in 2001. The One is quite bad, but I still kind of enjoy it. Hero's amazing. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so he's only really had a few starring roles there, like War, Unleashed, Cradle to the Grave. I don't know if he's the star of Cradle to the Grave. Curse of the Dragon, The One, Romeo Must Die. I saw a good handful of movies where he had a starring role, and then of course he had supporting roles in things like the Expendables movies. Played the villain in the third Mummy movie, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. As I said, really slow. Oh, now we got our obligatory DMX song. Yeah, so I will eventually watch the Mulan remake where he's the Emperor, which seems kind of crazy. But I mean, yeah, I mean, Jet Li's best movies are definitely like his wuxia movies. Once Upon a Time in China. Once Upon a Time in China 2 was pretty good too. Never seen 3. Fist of Legend, I think, is his best. Both Fearless and Hero are incredible movies that I will probably do on here. But I'll probably try to do it at a better time where more people will see, because those movies are, I mean, I don't care. This movie's nothing special. I don't care if people saw it or not. No, I didn't know a day beforehand. This was kind of decided early this evening, I think, because I wasn't sure how late I was going to be up. Now I'm up too late. But anyway, that's Romeo Must Die from 2000. It's a fun movie. Always makes me feel a little sad because of Aaliyah. Has some amusing bits. Not really great action, but yeah. I think Jet Li's best like Western movie is probably Unleashed. Unleashed is really good. And surprisingly good drama in it too. But yeah, Unleashed is definitely my favorite, like of his like English language movies. Came out in 2005, a few years after this. So anyway, thanks to anybody that tuned in at any point. You better take care of that cough, orc. And I'll see you all next time. Thanks a lot. Peace out. Good night. And broadcast. There's always a